So, hey Sagittarius, my name is Chris, and this is your beautiful reading whenever you freaking find it, but definitively for fall and winter 2026. What a year. What a transformative year. Check out your yearly reading, that's super important, and I'm doing the Celtic cross for you. There's the Hierophant in the center. Crossing energy is the Four of Cups. Okay. So there's a new role for you, right? There's a new role, maybe even a leadership role. So the Hierophant is a spiritual leader, but the Hierophant is also somebody who leads with truth and truthfulness, right? And for whatever reason, you're not super enthusiastic about that. The foundation is the Four of Pentacles. So you got something, you built something for yourself that you're very proud of, a foundation, a stable foundation, right? But you're building on top of that. With the Four of Pentacles, it's all about the chakra system. You got the root and sacral chakra, you got the heart chakra and the crown chakra. What is missing is the solar plexus, the throat chakra, speaking your truth, and connection with the third eye. So that is pretty much the Hierophant, right? The Hierophant is the spiritual leader, that third eye and throat chakra, speaking truth as an emanation of truthfulness, right? So let's just see what the crown has to offer. The Queen of Wands shows up all the freaking time, just like the Hierophant in 2026. Six of Pentacles, you receive balance from the universe is restored. You receive something. If you have given a lot, it's time to receive. And if you have received a lot, it's time to give. Working with that new role, the Hierophant, work related with the Eight of Pentacles. There's the Four of Wands, an invitation from the universe for joy and happiness. A good time, trusting in it, right? The Four of Cups is a little skeptical, right? The Four of Pentacles in the foundation is pretty much holding onto what you've already got, right? And I don't know, am I open for new possibilities, for new responsibilities, for that leadership role, right? That is all about leading through authenticity, integrity, and speaking truth is a good advice, because you want to complete your chakra system. You want to not stagnate with your Four of Pentacles, but you're on your journey to the Six, to the Eight of Pentacles, to something more beautiful. Queen of Cups here in the outside position. For whatever reason, you're not super enthusiastic about that, but that's pretty much what you do. Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups. Then you got the Lovers in the potential. And you kind of seem to be, let's just do a second card. Yeah, the Eight of Cups, right? So you have to leave something behind. You have to leave something behind to be open for something new. And what is coming for you is completing that what you already got. So you're leaving something behind, but you're leaving something behind. You're not really losing anything. You might lose something, some way of, when you know how to play, I don't know, the violin, right? And let's just see, you play Bach all the freaking time. You're playing Bach, and you're really, really good in playing Bach, right? Then somebody comes along and says, hey, have you tried, I don't know, Rachmaninoff or Schubert or whatever, right? And you think, well, I'm playing Bach, right? Hey, I'm really good at what I'm doing, right? Why should I do something else, right? Right? That's the Four of Pentacles and the Four of Cups. I'm really good at what I'm doing, and I'm really protecting that and holding it very dear and close to me. So why should I do something else? And then that is exactly what you asked to do, to be more than what you already are. It's time to make the next step. The next step into, and that is the center of your Celtic cross here with the Hierophant. You speaking your truth, you leading by example, And maybe that is something, you know, the Four of Pentacles keeps his distance to the profane world, right? That is the city in the background, and you keep your distance here. You're doing your thing and you keep your distance. And now it's time to come back. And that comeback is also represented by your energy with the Four of Wands. So an invitation from the universe to join life. So literally you're outside the city holding onto your pentacles, and then there's this fest and there's this celebration here in the city, and they're literally waving at you and saying, hey, come on, right? And it's also a four of pentacles, Four of Cups, Four of Wands, an invitation to come back to life, right? And explore life again. Start a new cycle, a new cycle, whatever you call it. There's a new adventure for you. There's a new chapter in your life. And that old chapter, you totally know that. And, you know, you kind of have to leave it behind. And that's really worrying. And you think, oh, right? What the fuck? I have to leave that behind. I have to learn all these other composers, but I'm playing Bach and it's so beautiful, and why would I even care about Schubert or Rachmaninoff, right? But you broadening your horizon, and that's you're giving up that position. Look at that position, right? Kind of protecting your pentacles, what you've already learned, but you have to open up, take that invitation with the Four of Wands, and fall into a new role, and might have something to do with how you work. There is the Eight of Pentacles, and all of your intuition, all of your fire, right? Let me think about that. It's water and fire energy, the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Wands, creating and co-creating with your subconsciousness, with your gut feeling, right? Trusting your gut feeling, trusting your intuition, what pentacle is missing. If you see that as the chakra system, that's the solar plexus, right? That's the gut feeling, that's the intuition. And then speaking your truth, throat chakra, and connecting with other people. That is what you are asked to do in that role. And you don't need to worry about that. There is a lot of worry and overthinking, right? What is that? The Nine of Swords, but there's also the Eight of Cups. Leave that behind and be open for something new. There's really an invitation for something very, very beautiful and a leading role. And let's not forget, in your potential, there's the Lovers. So you might meet someone here, right? But you might not meet someone here. Just think at the card, right? This is the city, you keep your distance, and this is the invitation to come back to the city, come back to life, come back to a new chapter in your life and allow that to happen. There's the Page of Wands clarifying the Hierophant. You go there and be the jolly good fellow who goes there. There's the Ace of Cups, all of your passion and all of your... You got a lot of passion and empathy, right? Cups energy, Wands energy, then here clarified with the Ace of Wands. You can use that. Knight, that's the King of Wands, clarifying the Four of Pentacles. You learned how to, and you learned how to control and master your own fire, your own passion. So you're not burning for your own passion. You're not guided by anger or frustration, your fiery energy, usually anger, but you're not controlled by that. You're also not controlled by your sexuality. That's also an aspect of the King of Wands. All of that comes together, and it's just time to step out, to step up, to just open a new chapter. And you're not enthusiastic about that, but you have to say, okay, Kesara, it's time. Right? The Knight of Pentacles. There is work there is the Eight of Pentacles clarifying the Queen of Wands. Then you got the Eight of Pentacles clarified by the King of Cups. Fire aspect, your passion and emotions. And maybe that was a little underrepresented in the old chapter, right? Maybe since 2008, Pluto in Capricorn was very cerebral, was very, in your head and logic and reasonable and, not much fun, right? And the fun is coming back, and there seems to be work related with 2 times the Eight of Pentacles, but it's something that you love to do, and there is joy and joyful creation, passionate creation, not suffering for your passion, but enjoying that, right? And being in some leadership role. Trust your intuition, come back to your joy. Remember joy. It's emphasized here again with the Six of Cups. Beautiful energy, the Six of Cups. Literally childish, playful, innocence. And for me, I always read that as remembering joy. And that is a beautiful thing. And I don't think you were so joyful. When you look at that card, you might have been really, really good at something, playing Bach, right? But there are so many other composers to play and to learn from them and from playing with them. And you can be just as passionate and joyful in doing so, just broaden your horizon, open yourself up to a new chapter. Queen of Pentacles, and there is 2 cards come out, because 2 cards came out the first time. You have to leave behind. There was maybe there's a reason why you kept your distance from the profane world, kept your distance from the city here in the background, right? Maybe there's a reason why you held on very deeply to your Four of Pentacles, that which you have created probably since 2008, certainly in the last 9 years. All these cycles are closing now, and the new cycle, especially in the second half of 2026, is opening, and that new cycle has to be full of joy and joyful, passionate creation. And in order to really fully embrace that, leave your broken heart behind, right? And be open for the possibilities that come, because there is the Ten of Pentacles as a clarifier for the Eight of Cups. Leave behind what was, be open for the new. And there's the Three of Cups and the Eight of Wands. Underneath that, there's the Three of Pentacles. It is just time to rejoin life again and to learn something new. And that learning something new aspect has everything to do with, first step is to leave the old behind and say, okay, that's in the past, and be open and embrace the new chapter of your life. As the Hierophant, right? As the Hierophant, it's the center of your, it's not a bad reading, right? You got the Queen of Cups, you did the Queen of Wands, joyful, passionate creation, not suffering for it. Remembering joy, being very playful with it, and yet being kind of leading by example as the Hierophant and trusting in that, right? Take that invitation and trust your intuition, by the way. When you go into the city, not everybody in the city, maybe that's the reason why you left the city. Not everybody in the city they are not just only decent human beings, they are narcissistic, toxic, antagonistic people. Trust your inner frequency. Trust your inner guidance, your inner light, your intuition. But by all means, don't deny yourself the experience and the joy of life itself. Blue Angel Oracle deck. Dragon Magic talks about good fortune. And I'm not super enthusiastic. I'm more on the, I kind of read my tarot cards more in a philosophical way, and not always enthusiastic about these bloomy descriptions, but that's Dragon Magic, and that's the bloomiest description you can ever imagine for something very beautiful, and it is good fortune. This card represents a portal through which dragon consciousness can interact with human consciousness. Yay! Dragon consciousness is becoming more and more accessible. The powers of the elements air, water, fire, and earth are called upon to restore balance. Dragon brings good fortune and magically transforms a situation in your life. Call upon reason, strength, and self-assurance, and through dragon energy, these powers will be granted to you. This auspicious time brings favorable and tangible results. What a beautiful language. And then there's a Maya Angelou quote: open your eyes to the beauty around you, open your mind to the wonders of life, open your heart to those who love you, and always be true to yourself. Call it dragon magic, call it you learning something new, not coming from a place of, I feel like you come from a time, especially since 2008, Pluto in Capricorn, the last 9-10 year cycle, developmental cycle, was full of narcissistic abuse, right? It was no fun the last 9 years. Decent people did not have a lot of fun in the last 9 years. So you held on to what you've got, but now it's the time to open up to the world again and be that leader. Lead by authenticity, respect yourself, rest within yourself. Seems to be work related, but love is here. The potential for love is here as well. Again, try not to force anything. The world is still the world, right? Don't be naive about it. The world is still the world, full of narcissistic, toxic, antagonistic people. But if you close out the world entirely, it's not just that there are only toxic, narcissistic, and antagonistic people in this world. There are also pretty decent beings in this world. And if you keep your distance from all of it, you're denying yourself the experience of, or the company of, these decent, beautiful people, and that would be a shame. See the big picture, and that's pretty much exactly what I said. Trust that invitation from the universe and go for it. And that's all I got for you. Share, like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you think about it. I'm linking the yearly reading for 2026. Check that out. You can also check out the sun, moon, and rising reading for your sign, for your birth chart. That gives you a broader picture. And hopefully see you next time. Namo Buddhaya. Ciao.